love me, yeah. The streets ain't never loved me, yeah.
Streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my phone they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger side when they tried to phone me.
Yeah, you know the streets ain't never love us.
Yeah. GD. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me.
Laying up in the hospital bed in ICU. Hit that button like every 3 hours to get those blues, yeah. Laying in the test of pain, I know shit won't be the same. Sipping my stomach, shit don't stop a thing, I'm still a man, yeah. But who gon' be there when you doing time? Can't get no money, so they dropping down, these niggas bitter. And I hope they get the picture. I'm only getting bigger. The top cat out my litter, yeah. Tell you they love you, but they hate you on the low. They hold you back, how they expect for you to grow. I got locked up, ain't said me nothing, but I'm your nigga. My body numb, I got no feelings for you niggas. I'm from what niggas will shoot you right here in these hallways. If you got trust in that loyalty goes a long way. These size 11s, these pussies can't walk a mile in. They hit my cousin with life and he's still smiling. I been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me. The streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my foreign they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger seat when they tried to fold me. Remind me of my gun, that was real shit, this real spit. Rocks I was selling was smacking them, call it Will Smith. I ain't never told and never folded under pressure. Yeah, the Neek was in that ambulance with me, he was on that stretcher. Niggas tried to take my life, I couldn't tell you who. Many men might not make it, I'm here to tell the truth. Me and Job, that's my brother, you know we moving tight. Brown boys fuck with the family and I'ma get them that. This my testimony, solid, all the rest is phony. Merrick niggas come at the fam and send your best opponent. I was stabbed, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. I know the streets ain't never loved me. He was shot, he was left with a zipper on his stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved us. Gang, Merrick.
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything that exists has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Yo, top of the top to everybody in the building. I appreciate everybody that's in the building right now. I appreciate the people that's pulling up in the building. And I appreciate the people that watches this on the recap. Everybody in here, I hope y'all seen part 1 and 2. This is Diary of a Mad Blackman, part 3, the finale. This is the wrap-up. Like I told everybody before, certain things people need to hear personally and hear respectfully from somebody that really been through certain things. And I think this is something that helped me with a personal journey that I be going through with myself. Because I had, like they tell you, if you ever do anything with therapy, they'll tell you got to go back to the beginning, to the essence. So this is part 3. If you didn't catch part 1 and 2, do me a favor, go back, watch part 1 and 2. Tell me how you feel about it. Leave a message. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the only place the grown-ups hang out. Anybody but a dead body. If the audio is crystal clear, do me a favor and put the dice cubes up so I can give a shout out to the people that typed so far. And then we're going to get into this motherfucking word. Anybody except a dead body. If y'all can hear me crystal clear. L'Oreal, I see you in the building. Appreciate the visionaries from Sheep Stay Sleep popping up. Miss Cynical One is here too. Let's get into this roll call right quick. We got the Cynical One. Shout out to Sheep Stay Sleep, DS1 Ross, my favorite fucking YouTuber. Big Dice stamped that. This is one of the visionaries over there. Shout out to my man Rose Gold. He in the motherfucking building. Rose Gold, he's the troll of the trolls, but he all right, he cool. He don't be fucking with nobody. Shout out to my sis, Big Tyler. She's in the motherfucking building. That's who I told y'all about before from the job that be holding me down. She like my boss with a big ass head. And when I first met her, y'all, I didn't really know who she was. But I'm proud to say that's my motherfucking sister right there. I don't need for nothing out there. If I call her, she there. She know if she called me, I'm there for her too. We got Harley up in the building. My sis from Philly is in the building. We got Miss L'Oreal, another one of the great visionaries from over there, Sheep Stay Sleep. You dig what I'm saying? We got my man Chief, red hair, brown eyes in the building. He said, Elizabeth, New Jersey is in this motherfucker. Salute the dice in the chat. The audio is cleared in a glass of water. Miss L'Oreal said, you know what? Let's go. Tyler hit me with the dice cubes. Everybody know it's all right. You dig what I'm saying? And I am him, Big Dice the ruler. And if y'all don't know, I've been getting money since they was drinking Calvin Coolers. You understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah, I know a lot of y'all don't even know what the fuck that is right there. But some of you motherfuckers is old. So don't start that bullshit about y'all don't know what's going on, man. And we got my man Open Minded. Please drop your link. Bruh, drop your link, OG. He said I hit that like button, but I'm reading to my grandbabies. Make sure y'all get over there to Open Minded, man. Straight grown folks content. I'm talking about, whoo. I'm talking about great, great content. Shout out to the OG. Glad that he popped up. It's a pleasure. I'm talking about if y'all not subscribed to him, man, I'm telling you something. Whoo. We got my man Drop Guard in the building too. Peace to the God. I see you. I see you. This is, yo, let me tell you something. The reason why I did this show, shout out to Sheep Stay Sleep. Shout out to DS1. I had the idea for it, but I wasn't going to do it because I said to myself, I don't think I should be that deep and that intricate. But you know what? The Most High said, give it to him. I didn't do the show for clicks and views. I did the show to hopefully help somebody. Anybody that's been rocking with me know how I feel about helping people because I want somebody to always help me, especially if I'm fucking wrong. But Diary of a Mad Blackman, part 1 and 2, and now part 3, the finale, is a tutorial for my sisters too. It's like an instruction manual and a little trip down memory lane pertaining to my life and what I came up to for my fellas. But this is really for the sisters, y'all. Because ladies, y'all are the ones that pick the gangsters. I got kind of quiet. Y'all are the ones that pick the gangsters. There's a lot that comes with a so-called gangster. I hate I ever was in the street. I hate I ever was in the street because I wasn't noticing over the years the streets manipulated my way of thinking. The streets manipulated my way and a bunch of other dudes out here ways of thinking. I'm telling you some real shit. The streets was the only secure thing I had, I thought. I thought the streets is fucking us up. I'm still healing right now. I just thought about that shit. I'd have been shot, stabbed, kidnapped, sold drugs most of my life. Been in some of the most vicious fistfights ever. Been jumped by the police 3 different occasions, 3 different police, 3 different police stations. And I used to think about, yo, why they fucking with me? Like, fuck the police. Nah, I was fucking with them. I had a problem with respecting authoritative figures. I had a problem with compliance. You know how back in the days, police, yo, put the spliff down. You see us there, fuck you, pussy. Oh, you're going to jail. I ain't going nowhere. Get your hands off me. That turns into a fight. And that turns into me getting my ass beat by a bunch of police. My man open-minded said, nice, thank you for allowing me to drop my link. Brother, I appreciate you for even fucking with me. Just like everybody else. I appreciate the God for even fucking with me because, like I said, it ain't really too many people that's ready to grow up. See, I was a kid for too long. I just turned 52 years old, and I just found out something this last month. I still got a lot of growing up to do. I got a lot of growing up to do. See, because like I told you in part 1 and 2, I didn't have the opportunities as certain people did. I come from a great family. Don't get it twisted. When it comes to love, honor, respect, I got that. When it comes to thinking I knew it all, I didn't have nothing. And shout out to my man Way to Black, because this is my favorite song by Way to Black. I'm about to do a Way to Black versus Jaffe. 7 songs apiece. Shout out to Way to Black, y'all. Because this can help you with how we feel in the street. Let's go.
Yeah. In the big and the bad, yeah. Life is hard, y'all. I mean, for my big one, y'all.
My fault, y'all. I ain't even been sipping and I fucked up. My fault. Shout out to Way to Black. Shout out to Way to Black. I got to pull that up one more time for my guy. Shout out to Way to Black, y'all. Because this song right here, Motivation, is going to explain what a lot of us men go through, but we don't really get to express it. Because the streets, you know what the streets did? The streets made us think that expressing ourselves or expressing vulnerability made us weak. I'm here to tell you that it doesn't. Let's go.
Wait up. I showed my alibi. Yeah. In the big and the bad, yeah. Life is hard, y'all. I mean, for my big one, y'all. All night in the big and I ain't never cry. Elvira, nigga. I wish my car never had to die. Me in the streets, we had a conversation. Being broke was the motivation. They said they love me, but they really hate me. Me in the streets had a conversation. Me in the streets, we had a conversation. Being broke was the motivation. They said they love me, but they really hate me. Me in the streets had a conversation. I got a ball and went and found a block. God gave me a pill, Satan gave me a Glock. I met her once, she gave me the top. Of your life, you want it or not. Being broke was the motivation. Go through all the pain and the couldn't make. I told Satan, suck a dick, I went and lost my faith. I was told if you want it, then go and take it. I got seeds working minds, I got enemies, in other words, ops, the gotta bleed. I Glock 9, a real so the need. I was sitting in the bin crying on my knees. I sat down and had a drink with me. I was thinking if my mama do, she think of me. My mama told me see my daddy when she look at me. Even though I love my aunt, I turned her to a fiend. My nightmares, they turned to a dream. Yeah, my money thoughts turned into a scheme. And they think that life's a game. And the shooting got no aim. I popped the bean and then I left the earth. And guy had a gun, he kept it in his purse. My youngin' shot that, put him in a verse. I'm a rider, mirror tints on a black hearse. White man don't understand that being black hurts. Mama crying on the steps in front of a church. Dripping is solidified. Yeah, I see my brother die. Little wanna slide. They ready for the homicide. Said, Lord, take the pain away. My gun sing a lullaby. Ran from parole, I had to hustle, I ain't never hide. Tripping in the beacon, I was tweaking, I ain't never cried. Real multiply, nigga, we don't never die. 100 grand flat in the streets, I had you dead. 100 round drum, big choppy, I'll be head. You used to get beside me, signs couldn't find me. See, we was in the trenches, and them bitches living grimy. Yeah, getting too much money up the hill, they tried to line me. Dominican, she freaky, give me toppy in the lobby. Yeah, you pushing, but you swiping cards. Yeah, I spin the block like I spin the yard. Yeah, you stay inside or you catch a charge. Yeah, my nigga pray to God because they life is hard. My niggas in the Bing wishing they was home. Been there, done that. You ain't not alone. Me in the streets, we had the conversations. Being broke was the motivations. They say they love me, but they really hate me.
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? It's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists, has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Shout out to my guy Yak, Chicago's finest in the building. Shout out to my guy City Boy Floyd up in the building. Yeah, this is the one we need for the fellas, man. 1, 2, Freddie, I see you in the building. You snuck up in here like a Spanish person. I see you. Salute to the sis. Jaffe, I see you. I just told Wade I'm doing that motherfucking Wade of Black 7 songs, and I'm doing Jaffe 7 songs. Since Joff pulled up in the building, y'all, I got to play him right quick because it's already loaded. And then we going to get into this work. Let's go. Hey, YouTube, listen. Shout out to Joff. Shout out to Joe Deezy.
I get mine, don't come around me with no fake shit. I got mine, you know I keep it with my waist.
This is going to be a good one.
Take a shot, so get around, I keep it basic.
Coming soon.
Yeah, nigga, what's up? If it's a problem, say something, nigga. 10 paces, spin, let's you draw quicker. Bullets burn them, they won't hit them, these ain't mocks and ceilings. I spin your block and let it knock and watch it pop your ceiling. I save it up for a rainy day. They was up in 2020, now these niggas broke the day. Yeah, I see my friends turn to enemies. I see some enemies turn to friends. Go ahead and play out what you would try. They be rapping a life that they don't live by. Lying, all that beefing got them turned to a ribeye. No matter where I'm at, I walking by with my head high. How you expect to be on point when you stay high? How you out here selling drugs to support a habit? Yeah, I'm out here selling drugs to get up out the projects. That's what for thought, and if it's you, it might be hard to digest. Only see me inside this room, better respect my process. Yeah, I'm only getting better, gotta jack my progress. I'm in some shit with horsepower and a switch in it. If it's a tango, go Django and start to whip niggas. Yeah, you not a threat, I think you that sweet. I roll the window down, start squeezing from the back seat. Yeah, if it's about money, then nigga talk rich. You niggas language be foreign, you niggas talk bleach. I get mine, don't come around me with no fake shit. I got mine, you know I keep it where my waist is. Take a shock, so get round, I keep it basic. Yeah, nigga, what's up? If It's a problem, say something, nigga. 10 paces of spin, let's see you draw quick. With these dum-dums ready to knock sense out you silly niggas. I got a bed in the kufi like I'm from Philly, nigga. Yeah, dark brown on the Cardis. My Timberlands never tired. I've been a problem since a shorty. Yeah, you know it's New York before I reach for the butter knife. Get busy with a fork. The cold word for let a bird go. You niggas don't want to work, your whole team is on the furlough. Right? It wasn't good, so they brought it back. And you wonder why you short staffed. Bagging dope is the only time I wore COVID masks. Cooking the pot cause it's basically usually a shattered glass. I'm talking greasy, that's out the gate. It's sleazy, you play it safe. For measly $500 and get you shot today. I mean, what's the combination? Pussy crack the safe. Like, one more move and I might just crack your face. For real. Tower block, 7-0, pussy.
Shout out to my man Joff. My man Chief Redhead Brown Eyes said it's going to be a tie between Wade and Jaffa. You heard that, Joff? FTC Vice is in the building. And Harley, if you're talking about Gus from Weeksville Projects, dark skin, used to rock the bald head with the chinky eyes, got the baby mother named Van Vet. Yeah, that's my man. I actually introduced him to his baby mother. I actually introduced him to his baby moms. If you're talking about Gus from Weeksville Projects, facts. Shout out to Van Vet. I see the gangsters is pulling up. I think this is something that the gangsters, FTC Vice is in the building, should be watching with your women, with your children. With your children. This 3-part series should be watched with your family. This is not the average work that's going to be on YouTube. As I told you, when we was younger and coming up in the street, I didn't have the same role models as certain people. If you was in the hood, I'm not going to say neighborhood, because if you pay attention to the word hood, the neighborly part is removed. They call where we stay at the hood, the grimiest of the grimy. But when you see other neighborhoods like Caucasian neighborhoods, some high black neighborhoods, you'll hear neighborhood. But when it comes to where we come from, the liquor stores, the weed spots, the projects, the back blocks, we're from the hood. The crazy part about it is I told you about my grandmother and grandfather. I think the strongest couple I ever seen. It's my grandfather right here, Fred McLeod Jr., and this is his wife, my grandmother, Edna McLeod. One of the strongest couples I've ever seen. If you pay attention, this is a particular night when they was in the legendary Cotton Club in Harlem. The legendary Cotton Club in Harlem. They went to see Duke Ellington and Count Basie that night. It was a proud night because my grandfather being from Brooklyn, you know, and the Cotton Club was in Harlem. You know, certain things weren't really, you know what I'm saying, normal. You had to be about some type of, had to have a certain reputation or respect to even be from Brooklyn and in the Cotton Club in Harlem. Harley said, nah, never lived in the PJs. Copy. Well, these two right here, even though I've heard stories and know things that my grandfather did, I guess, prior to meeting my grandmother, these two right here was the epitome of a hard-working couple. Disregard the fact that they're black. Don't disregard the fact that they're black, because at that particular time, black people had a lot of pride for themselves, unlike today. Unfortunately, today, the pride that was displayed back in the days with our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents, it seemed like they're no longer around, because if you pay attention to this picture, my grandfather had on a suit, my grandmother had on the evening dress. You know, she got on pearls, she got on lipstick, you know, diamond earrings. Seven, I see you in the building. Appreciate you, girl. Old Brooklyn. Shout out to my man Yak. He said, Grandpops look like a real man. The eyes never lie. They say I'm his twin. But this couple right here showed me everything I needed to see when it came to excellence. Black excellence, owning property, having some intelligence, but I didn't want that. I did not want that. See, when you come up in a household like that, my grandfather, hardworking man, his son, heroin dealer, my pops, gangster. He sell everything. So when you talk about the gangster life, when it came to my uncle and my pops, see, that was 2 to 1. What I mean by 2 to 1 is I had 3 role models of men that was intermediately me in my life. My father, when he came home from jail, my uncle, which lived on the 2nd floor, which was their kids, but they were gangsters. And my grandfather right here, he was a hard working man. A hard working man. Behind closed doors said, boo, your grandma was a real one. Oh, that's Tyler. Shout out to Tyler for switching up on us. 22, I see you in the building. He said, Grandpa McLeod, my man Chief said, looking like he sees someone who owes him. Yo, you want to hear something funny? I asked him about that look that he had in his eyes. Dog Soldier, part of the trifecta, is here. Shout out to Hank McCoy also. Dog Soldier, the bros in the building. My grandfather said that night he wished a nigga would play with him because he used to keep a little 38 on him. He said that night he wished a nigga would play with him because my grandmother had that diamond earrings on. She had them Cohen glasses. If you know about Cohen back in the days, you know about them pearls. Miss Bridget, I appreciate you. I see you in the building. This is the finale, y'all. If y'all did not see The Diary of a Mad Blackman, part 1 and 2, please watch this because this right here is the finale. But like I said, I had 3 role models as men in my home. I had my grandfather busting his ass, getting up to go to work every day. But then I had my pops that was breaking in stores, that was selling heroin, that was selling crack cocaine, that was taking tractor trailer trucks. Then I had my uncle, which was my mother's brother, heroin kingpin. That right there tilted the scales on me, just like it may have tilted the scales on some of the men that's in this chat or somebody that they know, or it might tip the scale on one of your children. Ladies, this is real. If it had just been me and my grandfather, I would have grew up emulating everything that he was about. Hard work, not being in the street, family over everything, distancing himself away from characters that were not equivalent to ourselves. That's why I don't fuck with junkies. No disrespect intended. I never want to be categorized with a junkie. Just like you would never want to get categorized with a pedophile, would you? So all the fellas in here, like, would you want to be categorized as a person that touched kids? How would you want to be categorized as a person that robs his parents? Or would you want to be categorized as a gullible person? I don't want to be categorized with certain things. With me, it comes from excellence. But unfortunately, like I said, if I'd have just had my grandfather, I would have emulated everything he did. Going to work, trying to be the best husband that he could ever be, taking care of his family, standing on 20 toes down. But I had the interests of the street. Because when we came outside, we didn't have doctors and lawyers to look up to. We had murderers, drug dealers, thieves, con artists, prostitutes, stick-up kids. It's fucked up. These aspects that I just expressed to y'all were in every neighborhood. They're still in every neighborhood to this day. Murderers, thieves, stick-up kids, prostitutes, scammers. But like I said in part 1, that was the allure. We wanted to be known to have the fanciest cars. We wanted to be known to have the most lucrative drug spots. We wanted to be known to have the beautiful women. The toxicity of the street pulled me and so many men in. We didn't even know. A day turned into a week turned into a month turned into 6 months, 6 months turned into 30 years. What I mean by that is when you're living a certain life, you're not thinking about death. You're not thinking about jail. You're not even thinking about the consequences if you can go crazy because of the things you're putting yourself to and exposing yourself to in the street. All that shit is a thing of the past. Like when you're thinking about getting a bag, you're thinking about getting a bag. That's why I try to tell people, be careful who you have your children around. Ladies, be careful who you allow your children to be around. I know sometimes y'all be wanting to go out. You want to hang out. You want to drop the kids off. You know, you want to make sure your homegirl is going to babysit. She might be down and out of the luck. You want to give her a few dollars to watch your child. Pay attention to this. What things are going to be happening in front of your child when you drop that child off? Is the person that you're leaving that child with, is they going to be doing drugs? Are they going to be consuming alcohol? Are they going to have other people inside the home that you don't even know about? You don't know nothing about their character or their background. Ms. Bridges says, say that again. Be careful with your children. Expect a man that you only know for 3 months. Move in and wonder why that baby got hurt. Ms. L'Oreal said, yes, definitely the kids. Like Ms. Bridges said, your child can be exposed to a pedophile. Or your child could be exposed to a gangster. Or your child could be exposed to a man that beats on his woman. Your child could be exposed to a woman that gets drunk, belligerent, and beats on her man. The allure. When I was coming up, the gangsters, they came outside early in the morning to get some coffee and some breakfast, and then they went back in the crib. Gangsters ain't work on those schedules because I grew up emulating the bosses. I grew up admiring them. You know the sad part? Besides the fact of mentally fucking me, the streets destroyed my way of life. It destroyed my way of communication because once I jumped in the street and went through the scuffs and the bruises, and the times was I was uncertain about who I was, and then the times I was more than confident about who I was. See, this is another transition that's real deep. Like when you go from not wanting to fight and then you all of a sudden known to be the one that's always fighting. That was me crying out for help too. There's a lot of people that say they know people that know how to fight, or they know people that bust their gun, or they know people that get busy in the street. Do they get busy because they just have the natural instinct of getting busy, or do they get busy because they're afraid? Do they get busy because they're afraid that the person that they may be coming in contact with is going to hurt them? Behind the closed door said, facts. Harley said, yo, I'm moving to NYC really changed me. Bridget said, yo, I'm not from NY. I will never move back. I love Texas. But see, this you got to understand too. Like I told you in part 2, my mother was in love with a gangster. My pops went to jail for killing a cop. My pops did 11 years in jail. That struck another interest because now I'm grown. It went from being, yo, that's DMC's son, to, yo, that's Dice Pops. It went from being, yo, that's Ice Water nephew, to that's Dice uncle. It went from, yo, that's Big Tiny grandson, Yo, that's Dice's grandfather. Do y'all see how it switches around? My mother, by the time she said she was just going to give me to God, because, you know, respectfully to some of the ladies in here that y'all have sons, I'm going to tell you some shit. You may have spawned something more dangerous and uncontrollable than you will ever imagine. See, I'm going to speak for my mother. When she had me, all she saw was greatness. I hope I'm making some sense. When she had me, all she saw was greatness. She never seen me running around in the street selling narcotics. Appreciate you, Bridget. My mom's never imagined that shit. See, y'all women, y'all, I love y'all. You know the bro got to be real with y'all. No matter how old a man gets to his mother, we're still his baby. We still y'all baby. We are still your baby. So whether your son is 10, whether he's 20, whether he's 30, whether he's 40, whether he's 50, ladies, in your eyes, you may have watched him physically mature and grow to be a man, but in your head, you're always going to look at us like your baby. First thing a mother says when her son, he got locked up. What did he get locked up for? Oh, he shot somebody. What's the first thing y'all gonna say? My son ain't gonna shoot nobody. He know better than that. Ain't that truth? Give me a second, sis. I'm gonna drop it. L'Oreal said, yes, so true. All I see is a soggy diaper. But some of y'all don't understand. Y'all done raised gangsters. Y'all done raised drug dealers. Y'all done raised scholars also. You've also raised killers. See, because let me explain something to you, ladies. It's only going to be a certain while that you have a grasp of your son's attention once he get in the street around a man that he wants to be. That's the importance of a family staying together. That's the importance of a family staying together, because, ladies, the man that y'all chose to have children with and love y'all, you got to pay attention to this. That's who you're going to raise if you got a little boy. That's who you got to raise if you got a little boy. Ms. L'Oreal said, and that's what I'm afraid of. Shit, the influence of other men. Because if you really want to hear it from a man that went through it with his mother, don't baby your son. I know this may sound funny. Sometimes you got to punch that nigga dead in his motherfucking mouth. Like my mother, she'd grab a goddamn broom. My mother was an athlete when it came to beat my ass when I thought I was grown. My mother jump over the motherfucking bed like she was Jackie Joyner Curses. My mother ain't give a fuck about none of that shit. My mom's done jumped off the couch to catch me in the face. Boom! People don't want to hear the truth, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Sometimes, lady, you got to grab your motherfucking child and try to throw them through the foundation of a fucking wall. Because once your son suck his teeth to you, it's not that he lost respect of you. He's no longer afraid of you. See, y'all confuse it, ladies. Y'all be like, oh, he don't respect me because he don't come in the house when I tell him to. Oh, he don't respect me because he don't want to get no job. Oh, he don't respect me because he wants me to clean up. No, it's not that we don't respect you. We're not afraid of what's going to happen. We're not afraid. The beatings don't work no more. Yo, it was times, y'all, my moms used to beat me out the door, and I used to be like, yo, chill, ma. Like, she trying to give me to work, yo. I'm talking about my mother trying to get me to work. And I'm like, yo, ma, chill. I'm going to come back tomorrow, man. You heard? Yak said my moms didn't play at all. It was a different person in my mom's house. If she didn't know we were stepping outside with them boys, that's a fact. The worst thing you could do is baby your son if you go to jail. Especially if you didn't raise him to go to jail. They don't want to hear this. I'm going to give you the truth, my sisters. The worst thing you could do is baby your son if he go to jail, especially if you didn't raise him to go to jail. Fuck all that. That's my baby. I'm going to get him. You'll never, ever teach us a lesson. This is the diary of a mad black man. And the reason why I call it the diary of a mad black man is because it's a bunch of dudes that the streets done fucked up just like me. And maybe this 3-part series, because, you know, you can't get certain people to pick up a book. That's why I'm so quick to pick up a book, because they said if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. So, you know, shout out to my bros that don't really deal with the reading. They might fuck with a good comic book every now and then, but niggas ain't sitting up reading no literature. Maybe this right here will let you know I'm just like you. Because if you pay attention to Diary of a Mad Black Man Part 1, I showed you how I went from a straight A student and a person took something from me. A video game that my mom's told me not to take to school. I'm in 5th grade. And a person that was a bully back then took something from me. And because of what I did to him, I was punished. I was removed from PS 167. I was suspended for 2 weeks. I was sent to District 17 with my mother. And then I was transferred, like I said, from a straight up school that was known to mold the most intelligent children in my neighborhood to a school that was full of teachers that just was coming there for a check, and they was terrified themselves, so they didn't even know how to interact with the children. See, that's what ignited the pain within me. The diary from day one. See, if you go to Part 1 and watch Part 2 and now watch Part 3, the finale, it's somebody that got my story. It's somebody that got my story. And to my gangsters that's too tough to say, I don't know how to read, I don't know how to comprehend, maybe this right here gets you right, man. Because I've learned, I'm 52 years old. I've been in the streets since I was 16, as far as drugs. But I was outside at 10 shoveling snow. I knew I was going to be a hustler. Sheepstay, I see you in the building. Big DS1 is in the building. I appreciate you, brother. I'm telling you, I wasn't even going to do it. Sheep is the one. I was watching one of his lives from the job. He was like, yo, Dice, when you going to do that series? That's my favorite YouTuber right there, y'all. That's a fact. Big Dice stamped that shit. They can't touch him. I used to watch his shows. I used to be like, is this nigga mocking my shit? And then I would watch his shows of the same ideas that ran through my mind of an interesting concept. And I said, inshallah, great minds do think alike. That man from Crown Heights. I'm from Utica Avenue, baby. Crown Heights, home of the most vicious fist fights, where you can get a fair one, Tell them, Sheep, when you had a certain reputation in the streets where you can pull your gun and give it to your man, and the nigga you about to fight will pull his gun and give it to his man, and you niggas shoot the fair one. What do you say, Sheep? And you niggas shoot the fair one. Because back then, we wasn't taught diplomacy. Our diplomacy was with our fucking hands and with our guns. Yo, I'm going through some shit right now, y'all. In real life, fuck YouTube. In real life, because I just noticed the past 2 years of my life, I have a problem with communication. One of the most intelligent and most articulate people that I can say I've ever met myself. But when it comes to confrontation, the slightest concept of disrespect or someone trying to take advantage of my kindness, this erupts an anger that these streets gave me. The streets got me mad. That's why this is a diary of a mad black man. I'm not talking about mad because I'm upset. I'm not talking about mad because this shit be having me feeling like I'm insane. This is the first time I worked in a legal job. And I'm so proud to say I just go to work to go to work. So now in the job, I'm respected for my work ethic. It builds so much character. But any other time I went to a job, I was going to the job to get money. Because usually where there's more than 20 people, there's a good chance there's someone suffering from some type of addiction. When you see 20 group of people, you ever see 20 people, 2 sets of 10, somebody in that motherfucker suffering from an addiction, whether it's cocaine, whether it's crack, whether it's marijuana, whether it's alcohol, whether it's opioids. There's an addiction. So if you're going to find addiction in 20, just imagine how many you could find if it's 3,000 and 4,000 people working with you on one shift. See, I wasn't going to work for the work. I was going to work to get rid of the work. Because I used to tell niggas, give me 90 days and I'll give you the world. In 90 days, I could tell you who was on cocaine, crack, marijuana, E-pills, Percocets, Xanax, Adderalls, alcohol. Paco Jesus here. What did he say, Pop? We see it every day. It's the first time I can say I went to work to work. I don't knock nobody for what they do, but I'm so disappointed in myself. She said, are you serious, Dice? Come on, man. Are you serious asking that question, L'Oreal? I'm from 170 Utica Avenue, between Park and Prospect, right in front of the B46 bus stop. I'm from the Johnny Greenleys, the Ice Waters, the DMCs, the Tinys, the Fred McIntoshes, the Glenn Davises, the Studs, the Trevors, the Mikey Dreads. The list goes on and on, man. The D-Nices, the Yellows, the Shies from Kingsborough, the Faces, the Erics. I'm from that era, man. From the Babas, from the Spoonies, from the Crows, from the Makivas, from the Unguses, from the Africas. I'm from that era, man. And that's why I'm mad. What I mean by mad is I'm insane. I'm literally to the fact where I'm about to sign up for therapy. I just learned the streets done fucked us up so much, we don't even know how to talk to our mothers. We don't know how to talk to our women. We don't know how to talk to our children. We don't even know how to interact with our employees. We don't even know how to act with our supervisors. We don't even know how to have respectable conversations with a police officer because of the stigma that if you're talking to a cop, you're a rat. I hate the whole thing of being a rat. I just thought about some real deep shit. You know, that shit done fucked us up too. That rat and shit. What's a rat? Isn't a rat a person that if was involved with a crime with somebody else and they got away and you got caught and you told on them? Is that a rat? That's what I was told. Isn't a rat a person that if you know he killed somebody and he went to the police and told them that he killed somebody because it was for some financial gain, like that 1-800-500-TIPS, whatever bullshit, is that a rat? That's what they say, right? So let me ask all the gangsters that's in the building right now. Sheep Stay Sleep, Paco, let me ask you something. Yak, let me see you. FTC, everybody, Dog Soldier, I'm talking about Chief. Everybody that's in here, man. I want to ask y'all one question. 22 Ron, I got a question for you, man. What if somebody killed your child or your wife or your mother or your father and you know who did it? You a rat because you told the police? Am I a rat? I know somebody that blatantly killed my father, and I go to the precinct and say, John Eric shot my father and killed him. Am I a rat? I want everybody to answer that. Am I a rat? All the fellas in here, I want to know something. Am I a rat? If I go to the precinct and tell them I know someone who took my family member's life, am I a rat? Walaikum salam, beloved. Peace to the God, OG Bobby. I hope I'm saying that right. Number 2 said, no, you are not. Yak said, no, you are not. Sheep said, no, you are not. We got any others? L'Oreal said, hell no. I want you under the jail. FTC says, nah. Paco G said, no. Check this out. This is why I love when OG pull up. Because there's no such thing as a bad opinion over here. We said that from day one. My man said, if you're in the streets, yeah, you a rat. You know why I'm glad you said that, OG? Peace to the God for saying that. Shout out to everybody that said I wasn't a rat. You know why I say shout out to OG Bobby Johnson? Because that's how much the streets fucked us up. It's a bunch of mad niggas. It's a bunch of mad niggas. You see what my homegirl said? She ain't gonna front. She said you's a snitch. If y'all don't know who Holly is, she popped up the other day. Rest in peace to her son. Y'all know her attitude. And what I told my sister. That's what the streets did to us. Behind closed doors said, hell no. Yo, let me tell y'all something. Do y'all know them streets fucked us up? I know somebody in Brooklyn. He a rapper. Small Eye Gang and all that. His son was killed. Rest in peace to that child. A baby, 18 months old. His son was killed. Killed. People running up shooting at him and hit his child. When the police came to him, it's all on YouTube. He asked them, Do you know who did this? He said, yeah, but I'm not telling. The streets done fucked us up so much. We got loyalty to something that don't give a fuck about near one of us more than we have loyalty to our fucking family and friends. That's why I wish I never was in the streets. Pay attention. We got more loyalty to the streets that done killed all of us, locked all of us up, drove us crazy, strung us out, addicted us. We got more loyalty than that than our family and friends. Harley said we handle our own. Now check this out. $30 years ago, you take one of mine, I would have felt the same way. We need to take one of yours. The same week, preferably. That was another thing the streets told us. If somebody die on our side, somebody supposed to die on their side. It's supposed to be a funeral the same motherfucking day for each side. DS1 said, niggas have to be abnormal to be considered normal. Listen to this. Do you know we can't even listen to our women when they talking to us, but we demand them to pay attention to everything that come out of our motherfucking mouth when we talking to them fellas? Oh, I'm gonna make a few of y'all mad. Somebody gonna get mad on this one. When we are talking to our women, instead of a compromising conversation between two people that are trying to keep peace, our attitude is aggressive. What taught us that, y'all? Dog, what taught us that? He said I was loyal to something that loyalty left long before I even thought. If our children disrespect us and we've been in the street, the first thing we do is come at them in an aggressive and threatening mannerism. What we've created, especially if we got little boys, because we got to be tough on them. Especially if we got little girls, because you got to threaten them. You better not be out here running around acting like you loose and all that. A lot of times when we go through problems with anyone in the street, it always results back to the street, even if we're at work. Yo, why you talk to me like that? Or why did you look at me like that? That shit comes from the street. How about if somebody says, yo, why you look at me like that? And you just give them a normal response like, pardon me, my mind was somewhere else. It may have seemed like I was focused on you, but my mind was somewhere else in space. Pardon me. See, the whole cordial point of being respectable of each other seems like it's a weakness. Yo, they got me so fucked up. I was thinking to be vulnerable to my woman was belittling my character and my strength. But we always vulnerable to the streets. I thought about some things. We don't know how to be understanding to our women when we're upset, but if your man fuck up 4,000, yo, don't worry about that shit. We're going to get that bread back on the next flip. You see what the streets did to us? If your lady make a mistake, you going crazy. Yo, why you fuck with that money? You don't know what I had to do with that shit. That's some bullshit. Yo, what the fuck? I told you don't touch that shit anyway. That's why I don't be giving no money in your hand, because you be running through it. But if your man fuck up 2, 3, 4,000, you don't even worry about that shit. Shit be happening, son. We take losses. Let's get right. The streets told us to try to outsmart everything that is presented to us, even our blessings. The streets told me, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Big Cap, I see you in the building. Salute. That's what the streets told us. The streets will tell us, yo, she love you to death. Her ways to show you, yo, she's madly in love with you. She'll never violate you. But in our mind, we'll be like, she gonna do something. Even if she don't fuck with a nigga, she gonna say some slick shit out of her mouth to try to play with me. If I open up too much to her, she's gonna use my most vulnerable moments against me. Without any of these situations ever going down, I just told you 3 scenarios that was created in my own head. The streets has had a way of spoiling me where I don't even have patience the way I should. See, because when you're in the streets, you don't have to worry about certain things because you know certain things are there. You're not worrying about no money. You're not worrying about no transportation. You're not worrying about things that's out of your reach because nothing is out of your reach. So even if you go to a show and they tell you it's no more seats, you can pull out some bread. See, the streets got you thinking that the money is always going to be enough, and it's not. It's not. But the streets make us think, yo, fuck that. As long as I got some bread, I don't need her. Oh, fuck that nigga. I don't go fuck about that nigga. As long as my money right, fuck that. I don't need nobody. It's all a curse. The same money to my dudes that may be in contemplation, because I'm telling you, the game is over. There's no more honor amongst thieves. The game is over. What we need to start doing is going to get a job and getting some insurance and taking advantage of that insurance and getting some therapy, because I'm not the only one that's fucked up. If you really was outside, like I hear so many people up here saying they did this and they did that and they did this and they did that and how they did this and how they did that. And I be saying some of them things that I'm hearing you say that you did intricately and explicitly down to the smallest molecule of a detail, the stagitation is never going to be off. So I can't believe you. They got my other sister in the building. Shout out to Danny Lux. I already know how I feel about Danny. Danny Lux for fucking president. I've been saying it since the first YouTube awards. I was saying it when nobody was saying it. I told y'all they couldn't take Danny. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I would love to hear Danny's story. Matter of fact, Danny, let me tell you something. I haven't did a conversations with somebody in a long time, and I want to do a conversations with Danny Lux. See, people be having their interviews. I'm not nosy. Shout out to Artist Morrison. He got his light side, dark questions. I don't want to do that type of atmosphere because my man, he already got that going on. That's his thing. I have conversations with people, especially people I can relate to, especially people I feel as though that I can take some very, very important, informative information. Shout out to my sister Tyler, man. I'm telling you this. She in the building right now, man. Behind closed doors. Shout out to motherfucking Tyler. I went through some shit and be going through some shit, and I be talking to this girl, and I pray for her so much. Because as men, this is what the streets do to us. This is what the streets do to us. It makes us think that we are the only thing that matters in this world. When there are so many things that are so important, our children, our family, our women, our family members, our brothers, our sisters. The streets had us so fucked up that we get a certain amount of money. We start thinking our family members is against us. You know where we from, family members line you up. When some white people get money, they go on trips 10, 20 deep. They don't do nothing but get drunk and go to sleep. But if black people get money, we're afraid to share it, because if we share it with people that we think deserve it, we're afraid that they're going to tell somebody else. And out of them other people that they're going to tell, somebody in the crowd is going to be envious or jealous. And that's the one that's going to be plotting. That's the one that's going to be plotting. The streets taught us to be loud and boisterous, to demand respect with any and every situation, whether it was confrontation with police where it could have been resolved just by two men speaking to each other respectfully. Nah, they told us, fuck that. Disrespect that person. She's still in the building. She said, I appreciate you, Dice, because you helped me with a lot. That's a fact. She be helping me too, y'all. I ain't gonna front, because we never as men think about what our women be going through and what they need, because we impatient. We're impatient. Like, the streets has spoiled us, especially if you got a mother that spoiled you. Now, I'm going to tell you something, ladies. Let me tell you this right now. Some of you ladies in here love your sons so much, y'all are protective to the fact where you forget that your son is an adult. I don't think y'all want to hear this. To the mothers that get involved with their sons' situations because they're overprotective, just imagine if somebody wanted to get into your business and they had their opinion on your life. What mind state would that put you in? Pay attention to that. What mind state would that put you in? Somebody trying to tell you about what's the best thing to do for you and your loved one. That doesn't make sense. The streets taught me it's a lot of faces. They're always the friends that call you, but it seemed like they never pick the phone up when you call. James P., I see you in the building. You know, they always got them friends that always calling you, but when you call them, it seems like they don't pick the phone up. And then when they pick the phone up, they still ain't picked the phone up. That makes sense, y'all? Like, when you need them, they pick the phone up, but what they said to you is just like they didn't pick the phone up. You know? So, ladies, listen to your bro talk for a minute. Pay attention to the man that you chose. I don't want nobody to be subject to being mistreated. I don't want nobody subject to being physically or verbally abused. But I want females to pay attention to who they're attracted to. A lot of shit come with fucking with a nigga that was raised in the street. Y'all heard? To my sisters, a lot of shit comes with fucking with a man that was raised in the streets. So there's two sides, because there's the side that's trying to follow everybody and trying to be everybody's wave. And then there's the side that stands firm and what they say is the trendsetter, the one that people admire. See, my grandfather always told me this. This is why I guess this is what propelled me in the street too, with some of the outlandish things, knock on wood, that God has seen me through. He said, if you're afraid to take a risk in life, you will always work for somebody that isn't. That might go over your head. He said, if you are afraid to take a risk in life, if you're afraid to do certain things in life, you will always be employed by someone who wasn't. Do that make sense? For real. But to my sisters, I'm going to end it on this. The man that you're in love with, have a conversation with him. Don't talk at him. Talk to him. Talk, you know what? Take this, Jewel. Talk to him like the responses were when you were trying, when you were very interested in him. See, this is something that women do sometimes that's very dangerous. Angie, baby, is in the building. Darielle, I see you in the building. She said, Dice looking good, skin looking good. FTC said, it's the Diary of a Mad Blackman, the finale. Like, share, and subscribe. And to my sisters that here, this part is for y'all. Have a conversation with your man. I mean, don't be afraid to ask. See, stop asking the dumb questions. Can I be real with y'all? Stop asking the dumb questions. The dumb questions is, do you love me? Because if a street dude is laying next to you or looking you in your eyes, he's in love with you. Never laugh if a tear comes out of his eyes. Because if you are not supportive when a tear is coming out of a gangster eyes, like his mother would be, see, you got to understand something. There are dudes that want their mother, and there are dudes that want their mother. Let me break that down for you. There are dudes that want their mother, meaning they want a woman to baby him, take care of him, groom him, take him shopping, feed him, spoil him. He don't got to get no job, buy him all type of stupid ass shit, keep him looking. That's niggas that want a mother. But then it's niggas that want a mother, meaning a compassionate person to talk to, an understanding person, an attentive person, and most likely, pay attention to this, a good person. The streets made us pick the chicks that was fucking us the same night. That's where all them unwanted babies came from, that dropped more angry black men. Because when you meet her in a club, in a basement party, and it's a red light, and you smoking weed, and you drinking alcohol, and she's talking about we going home tonight, and you having sex with her, you're not thinking about a child, because you're a child. But by the time we was outside at 14, 15, and 16, because of the responsibilities that we embellished and took upon ourselves. See, I rebelled against my family. This ain't come from what they raised me with. My mother was an investment broker for Saks Fifth Avenue, man. My pops, before he fell in addiction to crack cocaine, that nigga ran the motherfucking Veterans Administration Department. My grandmother, registered nurse. Grandfather, retired elevator operator. I don't come from nothing but excellence. The choices I made came from the things I saw in the household. A lot of parents don't understand the things that we see as children, we misinterpret, and it's y'all duty to sit down and break down what's going on between yourself with your children instead of sending them to the room telling them you'll understand when you're grown. Instead of telling them, yo, you see adults is talking, and then addressing the anger that you have to the person that you're talking to your child. See, these are things that'll make your child go on the street looking for love. They don't look at it like you don't understand that at that moment when they're enraged, they're not understanding that this has upset you to the fact where it's interesting to you, and that interest in your mind is not going to disappear just because I go to the fucking room. That should make you go outside. Because after a while, you start saying to yourself, I'm tired of hearing them arguing. Pay attention to what I'm saying to y'all. It's nothing wrong with a stern conversation with somebody that you're in love with, or you share a home with, your husband, your boyfriend. It's nothing wrong with that but I explained something, and I am a victim. I'm telling you, I am truthful about this shit. This is one of my problems. The delivery and the aggression and the tone can fuck up the whole situation. Russian Princess, I see you in the building. When I tell you, ladies, the men that you deal with, y'all got to be a little more stronger. Like I said, I don't want nobody getting abused. But you know, sometimes a lot of people need help. It's supposed to be good and bad with certain things. You dig? Especially when it comes to two people that care about each other. You're not supposed to run when somebody on a motherfucking storm, because you wouldn't want nobody to run and leave you in a storm, would you? You would not want somebody to cover you with an umbrella when it's storming outside and look for them and they not be there. That's a dangerous motherfucking feeling. Y'all would never, some would understand what I said. That's a day when you know a motherfucker got an umbrella, but they not going to give you no type of motherfucking cover. Ladies, sometimes the men that you choose, like I said, talk to them. Ask them about their childhood. Fuck all that. I don't want to talk about it. Y'all got ways of making us converse. If y'all can make a nigga go to church on Sunday, y'all got ways of making us converse. Women, sometimes you have to use your motherfucking sexual preference to lock the interest of your motherfucking man, because he might be a motherfucking goon. And then when you throw that goddamn banana pudding on him, he has your full motherfucking attention, and you got to break it down then. See, that's the vulnerable part of a man in the streets, lady. I'm giving you game. When you want to see the vulnerable part of your man is when you're so close and intimate. See, we got to have personas. So when we go to family reunions and we go to the cookouts or we go to the movies with y'all, we running around because we have been raised in situations, because we still think a lot of the things that we did in our teenage years and our 20s and 30s may still come back to bite us now because of popularity, because of envy. I know niggas that sons killed niggas that killed their father. Like, I know, yo, on Utica Avenue, I know a nigga that killed the nigga and his son grew to kill him. The police ain't know. I know a nigga that killed the nigga and his son grew right up under him in the hood and laid him down for killing his father. Russian Princess said, deep conversations are so important. Back to what I was saying, fellas. when you arguing with your motherfucking woman and you trying to get a point across, we got the dumbest ways. Forgive me, ladies, if this has ever happened to you, because I've done this. Forgive me. I'm going to apologize for anybody that ever did you, because I want you to explain to y'all something. It wasn't done the way that y'all perceived it. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. When emotions is running, things are perceived the wrong way. Totally the wrong way. When I say, yo, check this out, I ain't got to deal with none of this shit. In y'all mind, you hear I'm fucking. He got some bitch he fucking. That's what he told me. You on the phone with your homegirl. That nigga fucking somebody. He never said nothing about fucking nobody. He just said he ain't got to deal with this shit. Ain't that some shit? 22 Ronin said PTSD is largely underdiagnosed. First of all, mental illness. See, y'all wanted me to talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it. A lot of y'all are dating men that mothers had sex to make sure they had food on their table. You don't know how that man came up. A lot of y'all are dating men that sold crack cocaine to their mother. Especially if you're attracted to that street nigga. Whether you want to believe it or not. It's a lot of anger built up in men that a lot of women are scared to talk about because they're afraid. And to my fellas, yo, fuck being vulnerable to the streets. Be more vulnerable to your woman. Be more vulnerable to your woman. Especially if you want to keep her around you. Don't let them streets put in your mind that everything is against you. That's what the streets taught us. If you ain't with me, you against me. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, you the enemy. That's what the streets taught us. But that's not the life of a human being. That's why I tell people, stay on your children. Be more informative about what your kids is doing. Check them goddamn tablets. See, the shit that the kids got today, we didn't have no shit like that. We just had to be sneaky. These motherfuckers is sneaky. A lot of us parents is running around just throwing away money, giving children money. Oh, I'm going to give him $70. I'm going to give him $100 this weekend. God damn it, he might stay at his friend's house for the whole weekend. You are paying your child to feel as though you are not concerned with them. First of all, if your child need $100 a weekend, I'm going to keep it funky with you. Your child is addicted to some type of drug. What would a child, 14, 15 years old, need $100 for because they going to their friend house Saturday morning and they're going to come home Sunday night? There's some type of weed, cocaine, pills, something is going on. And then, women, you got to think about sometimes the babies that you spawn to these gangsters. It seemed like the era today is everybody is happy to break up and run away. But when we was coming up, everybody fought to stay together. The streets got people like that now. This internet shit, this Instagram shit, this Facebook shit, this goddamn cell phone shit. These filters, all this dumbass shit people do that can create all these dumbass motherfucking illusions for people to be attracted to in a motherfucking illusion. My fellas, I'm telling you, therapy is cool. Especially if you've been outside and you're to the age of 40 plus or 45 plus. If you ain't seen no therapist in 45 years and you was raised in half of the shit that I was raised in, you got some catching up to do. These is facts. I had to learn to interact with people at work. When I used to go to certain jobs, I treated the job confrontational-wise, like I was in a motherfucking park ready to hit somebody in the motherfucking mouth. The streets have fucked us up, y'all. I'm working on repairing myself. Keeping a great group of people around me, because that's another thing. The company that you keep can destroy your spirit and your blessings. These is facts. These is facts. Put God first, always, but keep some great energy around you. And before you quick to judge somebody that you say from the street, you got to pay attention to this. A lot of dudes from the street that really were raised with integrity and morale that actually is barbaric to some of the most stand-up dudes in the world. You know how I know that? Because you're looking at one of them. Peace.
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? It's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists, has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?